from Pheno Field, WMRC is proud to present coverage of Milford Legion Baseball. Good afternoon, everybody. Tim Coet here once again on the call. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of emotion on both sides out on the field yesterday, but unfortunately a loss for Milford. So they hold on in that number 7 spot in the standings, that final playoff spot. And now Milford will look to jump right back in the win column here today as they take on North County. And North County is a very desperate team coming into the field here today, needing wins essentially in all of their remaining games on their schedule to hope to have a chance to sneak their way into the playoffs. But this is a scrappy team in North County. They were in this very same position last season, and they were able to go on a dramatic winning streak to end their 2014 regular season to earn a spot in the playoffs. So they look for lightning to strike twice here in the waning days of the 2015 season, so it should be 2 very intense ball games, as we will see 2 here at Pheno Field today, the final 2 regular season home games for Post 59 as they take on North County. It is very important for Post 59 to be able to take care of business here on their home field today before they head out on the road next Monday and Tuesday to close out the regular season. But we will move on now. We will head right on in now to our starting lineups for today's game. We will start out with North County, Post 129. Leading it off is the starting pitcher, Brad Bousquet, with Trevor Brown, the right fielder, batting second. Camden Brown plays center field and bats third, with Doug Hartshorn, the first baseman, in the cleanup spot. Paul Barrett plays right field and bats fifth, with Ben Karen, the shortstop, batting sixth. Troy Yakshin, the third baseman, bats seventh, with Shane Lindmuth, the second baseman, batting eighth. And in the ninth spot and catching is Zachary Glidden. And for Milford Post 59, their lineup looks like this. Andrew McMillan leads it off and plays third base, with Kevin Lynch batting second and playing center field. Matt Tessina plays shortstop and bats third, with the catcher Michael Ryan in the cleanup spot. Blake Hill is in the fifth spot. He plays right field, with Aiden Wild, the left fielder, batting sixth. Kevin Valentine is back at first base, batting seventh, with Drew Wild in the DH spot, batting eighth, and batting ninth and playing second base is Brian Espinette. Your pitching matchup in this game today, it is Brad Bousquet on the mound for North County, and for Milford Post 59, getting the start here in Game 1 of the doubleheader, it is Alex Croteau. We are just about set for baseball. Game 1 of a doubleheader between Milford and North County. It was just decided that Milford will be the visiting team for Game 1 of this doubleheader, so it is North County who has now taken the field, completing warm-up tosses on the pitcher's mound. So Milford Post 59 will have a chance to come to the plate to start this game, looking to get this doubleheader off on a strong footing. And before we close out our pregame show, we will bring you the game time temperature. And it is a warm and beautiful day here in the town of Milford. It is 83 degrees as we are set to get game number 1 started. There is virtually not a cloud in the sky over Pheno Field. You could not ask for nicer conditions to play a pair of games. And 2 very big games on tap for Post 59 as they look to put a strong finish on this regular season. Any of these teams certainly happy to get into the playoffs, but you want to be able to put yourself in the very best position to succeed. So you know this Post 59 team wants to try to move up from that number 7 seed if they possibly can before this regular season comes to an end. So an opportunity to grab 2 victories here on their home field before heading out on the road to close it out with 2 games at Shrewsbury and then at Eastside. And we will now get baseball underway as the starting pitcher for North County, Brad Bousquet, has completed his warm-up tosses. It is the leadoff batter for Milford, Andrew McMillan, stepping in on the left side. The right-handed throwing Brad Bousquet into his windup. Here is the pitch. And that one misses for ball 1. Baseball underway once again here at Pheno Field. All of the fans certainly hopeful that this is not the last day that Milford will play a game here at Pheno Field in 2015. Here's the 1-0 pitch now into McMillan. It's lifted in the air out to center field. Back goes Camden Brown, but he has time to get back there to make the catch. And Andrew McMillan is out number 1. Defensively for North County, it is Zachary Glidden behind the plate with Troy Yakshin at third, Ben Karen at short, Shane Lindmuth at second, and Doug Hartshorn at first. Left to right in the outfield, Paul Barrett, Camden Brown, and Trevor Brown. As the starting pitcher, Brad Bousquet, deals in ball 1 low to the right-handed batting Kevin Lynch. Kevin Lynch sporting the old school high sock look here as we get game one underway, and Lynch drives a pitch out to center field, but again, this one is going to hang in the air and allow Camden Brown to range over and make the catch. 2 flyouts to center for Milford as they have their first 2 batters retired in the top half of this first inning. Again, if you're just tuning in, Milford serving as the visiting team in the first game of the doubleheader. And now with 2 outs, here is Matt DeCina. DeCina takes the first pitch down and in for a ball, broke out of a long hitless streak in the bottom of the 9th inning last night, came through with an RBI single that brought it to a 7-6 score. DeCina was able to get down into scoring position as the potential tying run, but that rally falling just short as he will jump ahead in the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. It was Michael Ryan who came to the plate with the tying and winning runs aboard, but swinging at the first pitch, he popped it up, and the rally came to a quick conclusion. Here's the 2-0 pitch now. It's up high, and Matt DeCina jumps out in front 3-0, looking to provide Milford with a 2-out base runner. Bousquet, the righty, settles on the mound, back into his windup. Here is the 3-0 pitch, and that's in for a strike. DeCina, no desire to swing, ahead in the count, 3-0. Should he reach, Michael Ryan would bat next. Here comes the 3-1 offering, and that is high for ball 4. Milford was the beneficiary of 4 walks over the first 2 innings of the game last night, which helped them immediately open up a 3-0 lead. And it's quite possible that the wildness displayed from the Grafton Hill starter, Ryan Balinskis, made the Milford bats a little too patient at the plate, losing their aggressiveness, which had made them successful in their wins against Wachusett and Shrewsbury. And it allowed Balinskis to finally settle into a groove and ended up lasting all the way until 2 outs deep in the 9th inning before he finally came out of the game. It is now Michael Ryan at the plate here with 2 outs and a runner at first. He takes a look at the first pitch for a strike. Bousquet keeping an eye on Matt DeCina at first base. He is held on by Doug Hartshorn. DeCina takes off as the pitch is lined through the right side of the infield for a hit. DeCina touches second base and motors right on to third. That was perfectly executed by Milford. With Matt DeCina on the move, it drew the second baseman towards the bag, and that left a wide open hole on the right side of the infield, and that is exactly where Michael Ryan placed that hit. It's the first Milford hit. It pushes DeCina on to third base, so now runners at the corners with 2 outs for Milford and a 2-out RBI opportunity for Blake Hill. And Blake Hill immediately asks for time at the plate, a long pause on the mound for the starter, Brad Bousquet. Collected the first 2 outs of this inning, but now finds himself in some trouble. Here's the first pitch now to Hill, and that's in for a strike, barely grabbing the inside part of the plate. Two outs deep in the top of the first inning. Milford threatening to jump on top. They'll send a pickoff throw over towards first base. Michael Ryan did not have much of a lead. He's able to get back to the bag. The first baseman, Hartshorn, then looking down in Matt DeCina's direction at third base, but did not throw. Here is the 0-1 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. That pitch had a lot of late life on it from Bousquet. It darted down and away. Hill with no chance on the swing, and he's down in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. He's ready to see the next pitch. Here it is, and it's up over the head. Hill able to duck out of the way. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeCina with a lead in foul ground off of third base. Michael Ryan just a step or two off of the first base bag. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it is swung on and missed for strike 3. Michael Ryan was on the move, but irrelevant as Blake Hill strikes out to end the inning. So Milford ends up stranding 2 runners on base here in the top of the first inning. They cannot score, and it will now be North County serving as the home team, who will take their first swings in the bottom of the first inning, which will come your way next here on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Milford with a good 2-out opportunity in the top half of this first inning, but they could not score. Blake Hill striking out to end the inning, and so now it will be Alex Croteau on the mound facing the top 3 North County batters as Croteau delivers in a called strike 1 to his counterpart, Brad Bousquet, in the leadoff spot. Right-handed batter facing the right-handed throwing Croteau, and he lines a pitch high in the air out to left field, but that is foul. This is Alex Croteau's 5th appearance on the pitcher's mound of the season. All of those have come out of the starting rotation. Here is his 0-2 pitch, and that is on the outside corner for a called strike 3. A 3-pitch strikeout of Brad Bousquet to open up the inning. Alex Croteau comes into today's action with a record of 1-3, a 3.57 ERA. He's pitched 17 2/3 innings. He's allowed 14 runs, 9 of them earned on 24 hits. He has hit 3 batters, walked 6, and struck out 10. And opposing batters are hitting .312 against Alex Croteau. About to deliver a 1-0 pitch into the number 2 hitter, Trevor Brown. This is hit to deep shortstop. No chance for DeCina. Trying to make the grab on the move. The ball bouncing in and out of his glove. That should go as an infield single.
Number 12, the center fielder, Camden Brown.
And that will bring up now Camden Brown, the center fielder, as North County will have a 1-out base runner. A wave and a miss out of the right-handed batting Camden Brown. Trevor Brown and Camden Brown back-to-back in the 2-3 spots in this North County lineup. It is Trevor Brown with a lead off of first base as Camden Brown takes a ball to even the count at 1-1. Alex Croteau with a pickoff move now over to first base, but Trevor Brown not very far off the bag. He's able to get back standing. Those pickoff moves to first have been something that Alex Croteau has been working on with Coach DeVito throughout the season, as now this pitch is hit on the ground through the left side for a base hit. Trevor Brown had been on the move. He will hold at second base as the ball is tossed back in quickly by Aiden Wild. That's back-to-back base hits now for North County. And now Doug Hartshorn, the first baseman and cleanup hitter, a lefty bat. Sporting a bright neon orange bat in the batter's box. He takes a look at ball 1. Croteau now surveying the runners. Here's the pitch. This is chopped on the ground towards first base. Waiting for it is Kevin Valentine. He'll take it to the first base bag for the out there. That brings the second out of the inning, but it pushes 2 runners into scoring position now with 2 down. So a productive out for Hartshorn. The out goes 3 unassisted. And an RBI opportunity now for Paul Barrett. Milford stranding 2 runners on in the top half of this inning. Now North County with a 2-on, 2-out chance. And Croteau able to deliver strike 1 into Paul Barrett. The set by Croteau, now the pitch. And that one started in right at Barrett and then came back to the inside part of the plate for a called strike two. What a nice pitch from Croteau. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch, and it swung on and missed for strike 3. Alex Croteau overpowering Paul Barrett on 3 pitches to get the strikeout that ends the inning. North County strands a pair in scoring position. We've now played one from Pheno Field. It is scoreless between Milford and North County on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. It will be batters 6, 7, and 8 for post 59 to lead it off in the top half of the second inning. Facing the North County starter Brad Bousquet, who stranded runners at first and third in the top half of the first, and now gets a swing and a miss from Aiden Wild to open up the second. Both offenses having a chance to strike first in this game, but still a scoreless tie as now Aiden Wild looks at a pitch too far outside and the count evens at 1-1. A light crowd here at Pheno Field for game 1 of the doubleheader. As now the 1-1 pitch hits Aiden Wild. Got him off the left knee, it looked like. He trots right down to first base. Coach DeVito looking over in that direction to make sure Wild is okay, but indeed he is. So a hit by pitch to open this top of the second inning. A leadoff base runner now for Kevin Valentine. And Valentine takes the first pitch for ball 1. Kevin got the day off offensively yesterday as he got the start on the pitcher's mound. He bats with Aiden Wild at first base. Wild holds as the pitch is popped up on the infield, right behind the pitcher's mound where second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman converge. It's the second baseman, Shane Linmuth, who is able to make the catch. 1 out in the inning, and now the other half of the Wild brothers will come to the plate. Drew Wild serving as the designated hitter for game 1. And it was the combination of Aiden and Drew Wild back-to-back in the lineup during yesterday's game that initiated the rally in the bottom of the 6th inning that tied the game with 1 out in the inning. Aiden and Drew going back-to-back with singles. They later came around to score on a 2-run single by Brian Espinette to tie the game. Aiden Wild takes off here as this pitch is hit hard on the ground to first base. It's a fair ball. The hop kind of handcuffed Doug Hartshorn at first base, but he's able to take it to the bag for the out there. Aiden Wild safe at second base. 3 unassisted on the putout. And that brings the second out of the inning, a runner in scoring position at second. As Brian Espinette comes to the plate. Espinette has been one of Milford's stronger hitters in this situation with runners in scoring position, batting .474 in this position. Overall on the season, Espinette batting .368. He has a total of 9 runs batted in. And now more time taken before Espinette sees the first pitch. We saw the catcher go out for a visit. Now the pitcher steps off looking to go through the signs again. Now here's the pitch. It's low and inside for ball 1. Aiden Wild very far off the second base bag. The shortstop was cheating in. There was daylight between the shortstop and Aiden Wild before that last pitch, but Bousquet not sending the pickoff throw back there. Again, the shortstop cheats in. No pickoff throw. The pitch to the plate is a called strike. Looks like that's ruled a ball from the umpire. It looked like his arm went up for the strike call, but the scoreboard reads a 2-ball, no strike count. The next pitch, that is high. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs in the inning as again Aiden Wild, undeterred, gets out to that big lead at second. Here's the pitch, and that's in for a called strike 1. Andrew McMillan waits on deck, the top of the Milford lineup. Espinette hoping to get the inning that far. Settles back in on the left side. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and it's hit on the ground towards shortstop. In and out of the glove of Ben Karen, and he has no play. Karen had been doing a lot of dancing back and forth to the second base bag, trying to keep Aiden Wild close. Got his footwork a little tangled up as he went to field that ground ball, couldn't play it cleanly, and that allows Brian Espinette to reach. That should go as an E6. And now puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. The second time Milford has been in this situation in 2 innings. As we now go back up top to Andrew McMillan, who takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Aiden Wild, that lead runner at third now with Espinette at first. McMillan levels the bat over the shoulder. Here's the pitch. It's in for a called strike. Andrew McMillan continues to lead this post-59 club in batting average. He's at .404 into today's action. A total of 23 hits on the season. He has 7 runs batted in. He's also walked 12 times, and he leads the team with 7 stolen bases. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This is popped in the air, foul down the left field line, and that will go beyond the field of play. A very warm afternoon here at Pheno Field. A lot of the fans working on their suntan as they take in this first game of the doubleheader. It is a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Andrew McMillan with 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch. The runner takes off from first as this one is hit on the ground to second. An easy play for Linmuth, who throws to first for the out that ends the inning. And Milford has now stranded 4 base runners through the first 2 innings of this game. We head to the bottom of the second, scoreless between Milford and North County here on WMRC First Class Radio. Back to work now for Alex Croteau in the bottom of the second. He deals ball 1 into Ben Karen, the shortstop, leading off the inning. And a quick 2-ball, no-strike count. Karen, the shortstop, with an error last inning, but it proved to be harmless. He now swings and misses to bring the count to 2-1. Croteau back into his windup. Here's the pitch. It's hit on the ground towards third base, but foul. It kicks over towards the third base dugout, occupied by North County. North County in black uniforms with maroon lettering. Milford in their gold jerseys with navy lettering. As this pitch is hit on the ground slowly towards first, Kevin Valentine will use the pitcher Croteau to cover the first base bag and complete the 3-1 ground out. One down in the North County half of the second inning, which again, North County batting in the bottom halves of the inning, serving as the home team. And the first pitch into Troy Action misses for ball 1.
Third baseman, number 42, Troy Action.
And now a 2-ball, no-strike count. So Croteau falling behind batters early in this inning. Was able to induce the ground out to open the frame. Here's now his 2-0 pitch. And that misses once again. 3-0 the count to Yakshin, the third baseman. Croteau ready with the next pitch, and that misses for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. And the number 7 hitter will trot down to first base. It's the first walk allowed for Alex Croteau.
Second baseman, number 18.
He had 2 strikeouts in the first inning.
And
now it's the number 8 spot in the North County lineup, Shane Linmuth, the second baseman. And there is a strike now out of the hand of Croteau. The runner held on at first base by Valentine. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is hit out to right field. A long run in for Blake Hill, still coming in. He makes the catch. And getting caught reasonably far off the bag was the runner Yakshin, but Blake Hill, no throw from right field. That ball took him all the way pretty close to the infield dirt, but not sending the throw in, and that allowed the runner to get back.
The catcher, number 15, Zach Goodman.
But the pop out to shallow right field provides the second out of the inning. We've seen some reluctance on these Milford outfielders to throw back in on the infield. We saw it in that 9th inning yesterday in left field by Aiden Wild. Not sending a throw to the plate as a runner tried to come around to score from second base. It ended up giving Grafton Hill the game-winning run. Right here, the number 9 hitter, Zachary Glidden, floats a pitch out to third base. It's an easy grab for Andrew McMillan for the out that ends the inning. So Croteau is effectively able to pitch around the one-out walk. And we have completed now 2 innings from Pheno Field in Game 1 of this doubleheader. And it is scoreless between Milford and North County here on your home for Milford Legion Baseball, WMRC First Class Radio. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for Milford. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for North County post 129. As we enter into the top half of the 3rd inning. Tim Coet bringing you coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on WMRC First Class Radio, the first of 2. A doubleheader here today at Pheno, and of course we will have you covered for the full day of action. It will be Kevin Lynch getting the offense started for Milford in this top half of the 3rd against Brad Bousquet, the right-handed starter for North County. And Lynch bunting on the first pitch. He sends it hard down the third base line. Charging in was Yakshin. He's able to make the throw to first base in time. It was a good idea by Kevin Lynch, but he showed the bunt a little bit too early, and it allowed that third baseman a chance to start cheating in. So Kevin Lynch out number 1 in the inning, and now here's Matt DeCina, who worked a walk back in the 1st inning and ended up getting stranded at third base. Milford has left 4 men stranded on the base paths through the first 2 innings. It's a quick 1-ball, no strike count on DeCina as Bousquet fires in another. And that lands too far inside and low. 2 balls and no strikes the count. With Michael Ryan on deck. Bousquet's next pitch. And that's in for a called strike. DeCina right back into the box now as he stares back out at Bousquet. And Bousquet deals in a called strike 2. Matt DeCina with the batting average now at .328 on the season. It has taken a dip over the past week. A 2-2 pitch now on the way, and this is golfed over towards first base. A tricky hop on Hartshorn, but it doesn't trickle too far away, and Hartshorn's able to toss it to the pitcher covering for the second out of the inning. That ball took a high hop on Doug Hartshorn at first base. It ricocheted off of his left shoulder, but stayed right at his feet. And he was able to hang in there and make the play. So 2 gone in the top of the 3rd inning. That leaves it up to Michael Ryan. And Ryan takes the first pitch he sees for a called strike 1. Michael Ryan has Milford's lone hit so far in this game. That came back in the 1st. And he's down in the count now, 0-2. That hit part of a well-executed hit and run play for Milford. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the base is empty. Bousquet looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Here it is, and the pitch is outside. Goes to a 1-2 count. Ryan digs back in on the left side, levels that bat high over his head. As he waits on the pitch, here it comes. And this is off the end of the bat. That will end up out of play, off to the left foul. A late swing by Ryan, but he was able to poke it out of play to stay alive. Again, it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. As Bousquet kicks and deals, and that pitch outside, not enticing for Ryan. An even count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the next offering. And that's a close pitch. It misses for ball 3. It was a little bit high. The catcher, Glidden, tried to pull it back down into the strike zone. But it goes as ball 3, so Ryan works his way back into the at-bat. It's now a full count. And here comes the payoff pitch. That's in for a called strike 3. Michael Ryan knew it. Frustrated as he heads back to the dugout, hitting himself in the head with the bat on the way back. And Milford goes down 1-2-3 in the top half of the 3rd inning. 2.5 in the books now from Fino, still scoreless between Milford and North County. Here on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Alex Croteau set to take on the top of the North County lineup. Brad Bousquet, his counterpart, leading it off. He swings at this pitch, hits it on the ground towards third. Ranging to his left is Andrew McMillan. He makes the play and the throw. And Croteau needs just 1 pitch to grab the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Alex Croteau up to 25 pitches in his outing, needing 12 pitches in each of the first 2 frames. And now Trevor Brown stands in on the left side, takes a pitch far inside, and has to back out of the way. That one sailed all the way to the backstop on a line. Trevor Brown lucky to get out of the way of that pitch. A 1-ball, no strike count on Brown, who reached on an infield single in his last at bat. He hits one on the ground to third base, fielded by McMillan. Again, he makes the play. Back-to-back 5-3 ground outs, and the first 2 outs are recorded. Alex Croteau now hoping to make this a low-impact inning. And now here is Camden Brown stepping in on the right side. He singled in his last at-bat, swings and misses at the first pitch here from Croteau for strike 1. Croteau looking more comfortable on the mound here today than when we saw him last. That was back on the 4th of July against Framingham. As this one is hit on the ground, that is a foul ball, just foul. That was close. Alex Croteau going up against Framingham on the 4th of July. When all was said and done, he did only allow 1 run on 4 hits. He did walk 3 batters, but needed a lot of pitches early on. The Milford infield able to turn some crucial double plays to get him out of some dangerous spots. A 1-ball, 2-strike count now on the right-handed batting Camden Brown. Croteau back into his windup. Here's the pitch, a check swing. Did he go around? No, says the infield umpire. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning as Croteau stares over the glove. Now goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. And that's too far outside and low, and from 0-2 now to 3-2. And here comes the payoff pitch. That misses for ball 4. So 2 very quick outs in the inning. Croteau able to get ahead of Camden Brown, but he loses him. Walks his second batter of the game. And it keeps the inning alive now for the cleanup hitter, Doug Hartshorn, who grounded out hard to first base his last time up. He swings at the first pitch and lines it out to right field. That gets down for a base hit. Hitting second base and moving right on to third is Brown as the throw goes all the way through to third base, but not close. Holding at first base with a long single is Hartshorn. And it's a perfect example of how walks can immediately change the complexion of an inning. A near 1-2-3 frame, then the walk, and now one pitch later, North County with runners at the corners. The potential first run of the day now there at third base, as Paul Barrett, the left fielder, steps in. Croteau from the stretch, his first pitch misses badly outside. One 1-0 the count. Barrett, a strikeout victim his last time up. And now he's ahead in the count 2-0 as this pitch trickles away from Michael Ryan. The runner holds at third, however, down to second base goes Hartshorn. Michael Ryan had that one initially and then dropped it. So the pass ball gets now two runners into scoring position. A 2-out pitch on the way to Barrett, and it's swung on and missed. A key moment early on in this game with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's hit slowly on the ground towards first base. Kevin Valentine has it. He will take it to the first base bag for the out that ends the inning. And Milford dodges a bullet as North County strands 2 more runners in scoring position. They have now stranded a total of 5 runners on base through the first 3 frames. Each side has had plenty of opportunities, but it stays scoreless as we head to the 4th inning here on WMRC First Class Radio. Back with more coverage of Milford Legion baseball on WMRC First Class Radio. I am Tim Coet. It is scoreless between Milford and North County. The teams have combined for just 4 hits through the first 3 innings, but they've also combined to strand a total of 9 runners on base, 5 on the North County side, 4 on the Milford side. So both teams struggling to get that key run-producing hit. Milford will look to change that as we enter the top of the 4th inning with the 5, 6, and 7 batters due up. Blake Hill gets it started. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, striking out to end the top of the 1st inning with runners at first and third. Facing Brad Bousquet back out on the pitcher's mound, and the first pitch misses wide. Just about 45 minutes into this first game of the doubleheader. Already now into inning number 4. And there's a called strike to Blake Hill. Bousquet settles back on the pitching rubber now. Looks in for the sign from Zachary Glidden, now fires. And this one is lined out to center field. That gets down for a hit. Landing just beyond the infield dirt right behind second base. So a sinking liner off the bat of Blake Hill. Milford getting their leadoff runner on base now for the 2nd time in 4 innings. As Aiden Wild now will dig in for his 2nd at bat. He looks to bunt, as now he pulls the bat back, takes a pitch low. 1-0 the count, and that's a good indicator of how important each of these teams consider taking the first lead. Every run is crucial today. Hayden Wild willing to sacrifice to get that runner into scoring position. The third baseman now cheating well in on the line as this one is swung on and grounded through the left side for a base hit. No chance for the third baseman to make a play as he was about halfway down the third base line ready to field a bunt attempt. Instead, Wild swung away and sent it through the hole on the left side. So back-to-back singles now for Milford. That puts runners at first and second base. Kevin Valentine now up. He's 0 for 1. He looks to bunt now, sends it slowly down the third base line. The pitcher will need to field it. He throws to first base a little bit high and just able to maintain contact with the bag was Doug Hartshorn at first. So Milford now able to get the successful sacrifice bunt. That pushes 2 runners into scoring position with 1 out. And Drew Wild now at the plate. Wild grounded out to third base his first time up. A long hesitation now for Bousquet. Here's his first pitch into Wild. It misses inside for ball 1. Drew Wild continues to be one of the most patient hitters in this lineup. He leads the team in walks with 14, an on-base percentage of .512. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's ball 2. Close pitch. 2 balls and no strikes the count. As Coach DeVito says something to Blake Hill at third base before he jumps back out to his lead. The 2-0 pitch. That's down low. North County has the infield in tight on the right side, with the first baseman a step in on the grass. The second baseman right at the edge of where the infield dirt meets that infield grass. Here now is the 3-0 pitch. That's inside for ball 4, so there is walk number 15 on the year for Drew Wild. He heads to first base, and that will load the bases for post 59. With Brian Espinette coming to the plate. Espinette delivering in the clutch for Milford yesterday. I mentioned it back during the pregame show, but a big 2-run single for Espinette with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th that tied the game at 5 against Grafton Hill. A hit here would give Milford the lead against North County in the top half of the 4th inning. It is Blake Hill, the runner at third, Aiden Wild at second, Drew Wild at first. And just 1 down as the conference breaks up now on the pitcher's mound. Espinette waiting on the pitcher, and now time will be granted. We saw a bit of this last night between Milford and Grafton Hill. A lot of long waits in between pitches. Now Bousquet is ready, and first pitch swinging. This one is lined down the left field line, right field line. A fair ball. Into score comes Blake Hill. Around from second base will come Aiden Wild. It is a 2-run double. Laced down that right field line for Brian Espinette. And Milford is able to come through with a 2-0 lead. That one kicked up the chalk down that right field line. Brian Espinette not waiting around, swinging at that first pitch from Bousquet. Knowing that Bousquet had nowhere to put Espinette, he had to come at him with strikes. And a 2-0 lead for Milford. They finally come through with men on base, and again, it's Brian Espinette who does the damage. He has really blossomed for post 59 this season. As now Andrew McMillan swings at the first pitch, he lines it out to right field. The catch is made, tagging and scoring from third base is Drew Wild with the 3rd Milford run of the inning. A sacrifice fly for Andrew McMillan as he also swung at the first pitch. And Milford is able to open up now a 3-0 lead. There are 2 outs now in the inning. The lone runner on the bases is Espinette at second, as Kevin Lynch will look to drive him home. Lynch 0 for 2 so far on the afternoon. And he takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. Three hits so far in this frame for post 59. Here's the 1-0. That's low for ball 2. Bousquet really slowing down his pace. Very deliberate on the pitcher's mound as he gets the sign from his battery mate. Now looks down to second base a couple of times. And the pitch to the plate is a called strike on the outside edge. Matt DeCina waiting on deck. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. As again, Bousquet comes to the set. Here's the pitch, and it's hit hard on the ground to third base. A high hop on the action, but he's able to hang in there and fire to first base for the out that ends the inning. But Milford finally able to come through with men on base. They load them up with 1 out, and then Brian Espinette, the big blow in the inning, a 2-run single. Also a sacrifice fly for Andrew McMillan, and Milford now, as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, opens up a 3-0 lead over North County here on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Alex Croteau set to go back to work. He has the lead on his side for the first time, and the first pitch of the inning into Ben Caron is floated out to center field. No problem for Kevin Lynch to range in a couple of steps to make the catch. So just 1 pitch, and Alex Croteau gets the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. The first pitch now inside to Troy Action, the third baseman. He walked in his first plate appearance. That came back in the 2nd inning. Now the 1-0 pitch. This is hit slowly on the ground to second base. It's fielded by Espinette, who throws to first base. And it's been a very quick inning thus far for Alex Croteau. But it was with 2 outs recorded in the bottom half of the 3rd inning that Croteau ran into some trouble against this North County offense, allowing a walk and a single to make things interesting, but he did pitch his way out of it. A 3-0 lead for Milford as the first pitch misses for a ball to Shane Linmuth. He is 0 for 1 on the day. The next one in from Croteau. This is a floater out to second base. A diving attempt made by Espinette. He can't make the catch, and it will roll out into right field for a 2-out single. Now we'll bring Coach DeVito out of the dugout. It looks like he wants to check on Espinette. He's immediately getting waved off by Espinette, but Coach DeVito making the trip out nonetheless. And the conversation now continuing out at second base. Espinette went a long way to his left and then went into the dive. Not enough can be said about the effort level we have seen out of Brian Espinette over this last stretch of games. You can tell he is a player that is willing to do absolutely whatever it takes, even if it means sacrificing his body to get this team into the playoffs. In his 2nd year with Post 59, he's taken on quite a prominent role in this offense, becoming a mainstay in the lineup. We saw him at first base yesterday, now back at second, where he's seen the majority of his time defensively. He will stay in the game here after that chat with Coach DeVito. And a called strike now delivered into Shane Linmuth. There's a runner at first base with 2 outs in the inning. as it is the number 9 hitter, Zachary Glidden, at the plate with Linmuth at first, as this pitch is sent foul up against the backstop. Two strikes now on the batter. Again, Croteau looking to strand a runner on. He has not enjoyed a 1-2-3 inning today. This pitch is hit in the air out to shallow center field. A long run for Kevin Lynch. He dives and cannot make the catch. No, it will land on the turf. Coach DeVito already out of the dugout. It looked like the catch was made. That has become a specialty for Kevin Lynch, timing the dive to make the catch on that sinking line drive. Coach DeVito with his arms extended as he comes out onto the field to argue. Wondering how that was not a catch. Lynch was convinced he had it. And Coach DeVito not at all pleased. He will now head back towards the dugout as he gives the infield umpire an earful on his way back. He turns and says a few more words. So that will go as a single for Zachary Glidden, the bottom two batters in the lineup, getting on here with 2 outs. So runners at first and second now for Brad Bousquet. The first pitch strike is issued. Bousquet 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. And Croteau able to get ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes. He's up to 44 pitches. As he sets, takes a look down to second base, now fires in an 0-2 pitch. That is on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And so after the questionable hit call on the diving attempt by Kevin Lynch, Croteau needing just 3 pitches to dispatch Bousquet to end the inning. North County strands another 2 runners. We have completed 4 innings now from Fino. It is 3-0 in favor of Milford on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Well, it is clear that Coach DeVito is still not quite calmed down after that hit ruling on the diving play by Kevin Lynch in between innings, going to the home plate umpire to discuss things. It seemed like it was a relatively amicable conversation between Coach DeVito and the home plate ump, but he was clearly not satisfied with the explanation he received from the infield umpire, and wanting to make the home plate ump aware of the situation, he now heads out to his third base coach's position as Milford will come to the plate in the top of the 5th. Milford leads this game over North County by a score of 3-0. But for North County, it has not been for a lack of base runners that they've been unable to come through on the scoreboard. They have had at least 1 runner stranded in every inning. They've stranded a total now of 7 runners through the first 4 innings. They stranded another 2 in the bottom of the 4th as Croteau was able to get the strikeout. And now Matt DeCina leading it off for Milford in the top of the 5th. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. DeCina 0 for 1. He did walk back in the first inning and then grounded out in his last at bat. Brad Bousquet still in this game on the mound for North County. His next pitch is away. 2 balls and a strike. It will be DeCina, Michael Ryan, and Blake Hill, the 3 batters expected in this inning. Bousquet back to the windup. Here's the pitch, and that's in for a called strike 2. DeCina levels the bat over the shoulder. A 2-2 pitch about to be fired in, and this is hit hard on the ground to first base. Held on to by Doug Hartshorn. He takes it to the first base bag, and DeCina is retired for out number 1. I'll remind all of our listeners that the Boston Red Sox will be taking on the New York Yankees in Game 2 of their series tonight at 7:15. We will get you out to Fenway Park for that game as soon as we are concluded with Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Red Sox losing the first game of that series to New York, a disappointing game yesterday, and also worrisome with the injury to Clay Buchholz. Meanwhile, Michael Ryan is the batter here at Pheno Field, 1 out deep in the top of the 5th. A count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael Ryan being supported with the chatter out of the Milford dugout. It's again Cole McNana who leads that charge in the dugout, sitting on a bucket right at the very edge of the dugout area, right at that chalk outline. The rest of the Milford dugout seated a little further back, but it's McNana as usual, the emotional leader on the sidelines. 2-2 the count on Michael Ryan. The windup and the pitch from Bousquet, and it's swung on and missed. Michael Ryan down on strikes. It's the 3rd K for Brad Bousquet. It's the 2nd time Michael Ryan has struck out in the game. Two up and 2 down in the Milford half of the 5th. And that leaves it up to Blake Hill. Hill swings at the first pitch and lofts it high in the air out to left field. Over a few steps towards the line is Paul Barrett. He's there to make the catch for the out that ends the inning. So Bousquet able to bounce back with a 1-2-3 top of the 5th. So we head on to the bottom half of the frame. It is Milford 3 and North County 0 here on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. North County set to bring their 2, 3, and 4 hitters to the plate in the bottom of the 5th. And Trevor Brown takes a called strike 1 against Alex Croteau, now up to 45 pitches. As this one is lined down the left field line, that's a fair ball. Heading towards that line is Aiden Wild to field it. He gets the throw back in, and it will hold Trevor Brown to a leadoff single. That is the first time in the game that North County has gotten their leadoff runner on base. As now Camden Brown well out in front of a pitch from Croteau. He swings and misses for strike 1. Camden Brown has been on base twice, a single back in the 1st inning, a walk in the 3rd. A pickoff check over at first base, and Trevor Brown only about a step away from the bag. He's able to get back in. A few more fans have trickled in here to Pheno Field as this game has gone along. A bit surprising to see a lower turnout here, given that these are the final 2 regular season home games for Post 59, but we should see a much larger crowd for the 2nd game, as this pitch is fouled away. No, it will indeed be strike 3. No chance for the runner to take first, as first base was occupied. However, Trevor Brown, as that pitch got away from Michael Ryan, will head down to second base. It had appeared that Camden Brown had gotten a piece of that pitch, but a swing and a miss, the ball getting away from Ryan. So 1 out in the inning, but a runner in scoring position on the wild pitch. Now this one is floated out to left field. A hard charge by Aiden Wild. He's able to make the catch. A chance to double off the runner at second base, but Wild airmailing the throw into second base. It was backed up by Kevin Valentine. Aiden Wild geared up for an inning-ending double play, but the throw off the mark. If that throw had been right on the bag, it would have been a close play. So it goes as a line out to left field for Doug Hartshorn. The runner now takes third as this pitch is sent out to center field for a base hit. The runner will score without a throw. As Paul Barrett, first pitch swinging, sends one out to center field for a 2-out RBI single that gives North County their first run. The score now 3-1 Milford. And it has been with 2 outs that North County has had their best opportunities. So a little frustration on the Milford side. Again, that throw to second base from Aiden Wild, had it been on the money, Milford may have been able to get out of this inning with the lead intact. Now this ball is hit on the ground towards the pitcher. And the throw from Croteau is not in time. That ball hit hard off of his glove and ricocheted over towards the third base side of the mound. Croteau a little slow to react, and by the time he got the throw to first base, it was late. That could go as an error on Croteau. That allows North County to put the tying runs on base with 2 outs. We've seen 2 hits in this inning, and now a runner reaching on an error. It's Paul Barrett at second with Ben Karen, who just reached on that error at first. Troy Reaction now the batter. And he takes a pitch inside, evening the count at a ball and a strike. Croteau set. The pitch comes in low. Looks like Michael Farrell now is going to start to get loose over in the Milford bullpen. A 2-ball, 1-strike count with 2 on and 2 out for North County. Here's the pitch, and it's hit on the ground again. It gets past Croteau. Played at deep short by Matt Tessina. He's able to take it to the second base bag for the force out that ends the inning. Fortunate for Croteau that Tessina was there to back up that ground ball and get the force out to end the inning, so Milford is able to escape with minimal damage. North County does get a run in the inning, and as we head to the 6th, it's now just a 2-run lead for Milford. 3-1 the score on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Certainly pool weather today, a warm one in Milford, as we have a doubleheader on our hands here at Fino Field. And it's a close one between Milford and North County in Game 1. It's a 3-1 lead for Milford into the top of the 6th inning now. Aiden Wild, the first batter of the frame. He takes the first pitch of the inning inside. Aiden Wild has been on base twice. He was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning and then singled and scored a run in the 4th. Tries to hold up on the swing but goes around. So Aiden Wild's consecutive games on base streak will continue with those 2 trips on the bases so far, and he's going to make it a 3rd trip on the bases today, the 2nd time via a hit by pitch. That one a breaking ball that hit him right off the uniform numbers on the back. So Aiden Wild now on the season up to 18 consecutive games on base. It hasn't always been by way of a hit, but Aiden Wild has found a way to get it done. He's on to lead off the top of the 6th as Kevin Valentine steps in. Valentine takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. Kevin had a crucial sacrifice bunt as part of that 4th inning rally. It put both Blake Hill and Aiden Wild into scoring position. They both came around to score in the inning. As Brad Bousquet will now check on Aiden Wild at first base. Wild is a base-stealing threat. An 0-1 count on Valentine, the next pitch, and that misses outside. Kevin Valentine on the season, the batting average down to .243, but when he has gotten hits, they have been productive. He has 11 runs batted in. That is good for 2nd on the team, only to Blake Hill. There goes Aiden Wild at first base. The pitch is a ball. The throw down to second base is not in time. The pitch a late strike call by the umpire, so it will go to a 1-ball, 2-strike count, but a steal for Aiden Wild. He gets himself into scoring position. as Kevin Valentine settles back in on the left side. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and this is hit high in the air down the right field line. Will it stay fair? It is a foul ball. With this bright sunshine, there's quite a glare on the grass. It's hard to see that foul line once you get beyond the infield dirt. That was a close one, but just landing to the right of that foul line, deep out in right field. Good contact from Valentine, but he heads back to the box with the count remaining 1-2. Aiden Wild a big lead at second. Here's the pitch, and that misses for ball 2. Valentine up now. Drew Wild waits on deck. No outs in the top of the 6th. Valentine now sends a slow rolling ground ball towards second base. It's fielded by Shane Linmuth. He's able to get the out at first, but Aiden Wild moves down to third. Another productive out for Kevin Valentine as Milford looks to reestablish that 3-run lead. Drew Wild will now dig in with his younger brother Aiden at third base. Wild swings at the first pitch. It's grounded to second with the infield drawn in. Aiden Wild has to hold at third as Linmuth is able to get the out at second base. So they pull the infield in, North County, and it pays off. And once again, the inning rests in the hands of Brian Espinette, who has come through with the biggest hit so far in this game, a 2-run double back in the 4th inning that gave Milford a 2-0 lead. He bats now with a runner at third. He swings at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. It's the second straight game with a multi-RBI production out of Brian Espinette. Can actually make that 3 consecutive games going back to the Wachusett game. He sends one on the ground straight up the middle. A diving play by Ben Caron at short. His throw over to first base gets there in time as Brian Espinette comes awkwardly across the bag. He limps as he heads back to the dugout. Favoring the left ankle, he will get checked on by the coaching staff. As the top half of the 6th inning comes to an end, Milford strands that runner at third base, so we will head on to the bottom half of the 6th inning. And it remains 3-1 in favor of Milford. Coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Brian Espinette does remain in the game. He heads right back out to second base. As we are about to get set for the bottom half of the 6th inning, Alex Croteau is back on the mound, and he deals in strike 1. And it will be the second baseman, Shane Linmuth, who will lead off the inning, and he is quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. 8, 9, and 1 due up for North County. Linmuth up now, Zachary Glidden, and then up to the top spot in the lineup in Brad Bousquet. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's waved at and missed, chasing a bad pitch for Linmuth. He is down by way of the K. 5 strikeouts now for Alex Croteau. He's able to retire that leadoff batter, and now it's down to the number 9 spot, Zachary Glidden, who is 1 for 2. And he swings at the first pitch, grounds it to shortstop. Tessina waits for it. He fires to first. 2 up and 2 down for North County. Milford did have action in the bullpen last inning, but Croteau back out there for the 6th. He's been able to get 2 easy outs, but it has been this 3rd out of the inning that has been a problem for him throughout the game. He has not yet had a 1-2-3 inning. Hoping for it here as Brad Bousquet steps in on the right side. And he takes the first pitch a little bit low for ball one. The windup and the pitch from Croteau, a breaking ball that stays up high. Having to reach far over the head was Michael Ryan. The 1-0 pitch now, again, that misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Again, Croteau losing the plate a bit with 2 outs in the inning. He winds and fires as that pitch misses. And that is going to go as ball 4. Some confusion on the field as that was just a 2-0 count, but apparently somewhere there was some miscommunication, so it's a 4-pitch walk. And that appeared to be only ball 3, but there's no argument coming up from the Milford side. So again, North County will have a 2-out base runner. Bousquet on for the first time in 4 at-bats with that 2-out walk, and now it will give Trevor Brown a chance. Brown immediately down in the count, 0-1. This pitch is hit towards the gap in left center field. It's down for a hit. Fighting to cut it off is Kevin Lynch. He does a great job getting to that ball, and that will hold up Bousquet at second base. Bousquet had already rounded the bag, but Kevin Lynch got to that ball so quickly that he had to hold up. Coach DeVito now out of the dugout. And it looks like we're going to see a pitching change here as Coach DeVito takes the baseball from the hand of Alex Croteau. It will be Michael Farrell on in relief, and it looks like we're going to see perhaps an additional defensive change as well, and it might involve Brian Espinette at second base. Indeed, Drew Wild comes out of the dugout. Espinette will be replaced defensively, so a couple of changes here. We will step aside while Michael Farrell makes his warm-up tosses. Back with more in this bottom of the 6th inning next. Milford with a 3-1 lead here on WMRC First Class Radio. We're back now at Fino Field. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. North County threatening. They have runners at first and second base. And Alex Croteau lifted from this game. He is replaced by Michael Farrell. And the other change for Milford in the inning, Brian Espinette leaves the game, replaced at second base by Drew Wild. So Milford loses the DH. Wild comes out to take over at second. Espinette out of the game, and that is certainly worrisome for Milford. Espinette has been so valuable to the offense. We've talked about him throughout this broadcast today. Hoping that this is just a minor injury. Meanwhile, the batter Camden Brown facing Michael Farrell. He swings away at the first pitch and sends it foul and just out of play off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. It is Brad Bousquet, the runner at second, with Trevor Brown at first, Camden Brown at the plate. The tying runs on once again for North County. Here's the pitch, and this is a high one, lofted foul, hitting just off the top of the press box. And it's a no ball, 2 strike count. Michael Farrell now getting into his 4th game on the mound, all of those appearances in relief. He's pitched 2 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed just 3 hits, no runs. Ready with an 0-2 pitch, and this is hit high in the air over towards first base. Kevin Valentine settles underneath, just a foot behind the first base bag. He is able to make the catch. And Michael Farrell comes in and immediately brings an end to the 6th inning rally for North County. They fail to score. They leave 2 more runners on. They have stranded 2 runners in now 5 innings out of this game. We will head now to the top half of the 7th inning. Milford could use some insurance, leading this game 3-1 on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Michael Farrell able to come out of the Milford bullpen and induce a pop-up of Camden Brown to end the top, or the bottom of the 6th, I should say. So we head on to the 7th. Milford continues to lead by a score of 3-1. Milford will have the top of their order due up in this inning. Brad Bousquet still on the mound for North County. And Andrew McMillan about to come to the plate for the 4th time. He is officially 0 for 2. He flew out to center field in the first, grounded out to second base in the second, and hit a sacrifice fly to drive in a run in the 4th, supplying Milford's 3rd run. And McMillan takes a first pitch strike from Bousquet. Milford doing just about all of their offensive damage in this game in the top of the 4th inning, scoring 3 runs on 3 hits. They only have 4 hits in the entire game. They're being out-hit by North County 8-4. But they lead where it counts in that run column. A 1-ball, 1-strike count on McMillan. Here's the pitch. It dips down and away. I don't believe we have seen any action loosening on the sideline for North County, so this continues to be Bousquet's game. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count now on Andrew McMillan. The next pitch on the way, and that bounces in. 3 balls and a strike. Kevin Lynch waits on deck. On this very warm afternoon in Milford, in the 7th inning of game 1 of a doubleheader. It's been a close game all the way. Here is the 3-1 pitch now on McMillan. A big swing and a miss. That fills up the count. Milford has not had a hit since that 4th inning. Their only base runner since then came on a hit by pitch to lead off last inning. And they will not get a base runner to lead off this top of the 7th as Andrew McMillan takes a called strike 3 at the knees.
The center fielder, number 13, Kevin Lynch.
That is the 4th strikeout for Brad Bousquet. McMillan, a rare hitless day, but did come through with that RBI on the sac fly. 1 out and the base is empty in the inning now for Kevin Lynch, who takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. Lynch a fly out and a pair of ground outs. That has been his day so far. And he takes a called strike just on the outside part of the plate. Righty versus righty matchup. Bousquet fires in, and it's an off-speed pitch that misses high. Relatively quiet here at the field right now, both dugouts. Not much chatter at the moment. A 2-1 pitch now from Bousquet, and this one is sent foul and out of play. Some young kids wandering around behind the home plate area. They race to find where that foul ball landed. And it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count now on Lynch. He is ready. Bousquet is ready. Here's the pitch, and it is swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Bousquet, who is now up to 5 strikeouts on the day.
Number 9, Matt DeCina.
And 2 outs and the base is empty now for Matt DeCina. DeCina reached on a walk back in the first inning and since then has grounded out twice. Coach DeVito continues to struggle to find the right mix in these 3 and 4 spots in the lineup. We've talked about it repeatedly over the last several broadcasts, but the production out of these 3 and 4 spots in the lineup has been very spotty. The walk for Matt DeCina and the single for Michael Ryan back in the first inning, the only time the 3 and 4 batters have been on base. DeCina now with a line drive. That sneaks up over the glove of the shortstop, Karen, out into left center field. DeCina thinking 2. Here comes the throw. And that is in time. DeCina thought he could make it into second base, but a quick throw in from the outfield, and DeCina is gunned down trying to slide into second base. He gets the single, but then getting a little too greedy to end the inning. So we will head to the bottom of the 7th. It remains a 3-1 score in favor of Milford. It will be Michael Farrell who looks to close it out. It is a save opportunity for Farrell. We will see if he can close the door next here on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Back once again on coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on First Class Radio. Tim Coet here on the call. A 2-run lead for Post 59 as we enter into the bottom of the 7th inning of Game 1 of this afternoon doubleheader between Milford and North County. And Post 129 will bring the middle of their order to the plate. Their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Doug Hartshorn, the first baseman, will lead it off against Michael Farrell, looking to get the save. And Farrell delivers in a fastball that is high for ball 1. Hartshorn is grounded out to first base, singled, and lined out to left field. And it's a 2-ball, no-strike count. And we'll see some more action starting to loosen in the Milford bullpen. This is the first time Michael Farrell has come out for more than an inning of work. He's gone to a 3-ball, no-strike count now on Hartshorn. The last thing he wants to do is lead off the 7th inning with a walk. Hartshorn, the lefty, back in. Here's the pitch. And that's in for a strike. Michael Farrell has not yet walked a batter on the season. Here's his 3-1 pitch. This is lifted in the air out to left field. Waiting for it to come down is Aiden Wild. He is able to make the catch. Hartshorn with a favorable count, but he ends up flying out for the first out of the inning. North County down to their last 2 outs in Game 1. Now Paul Barrett, the left fielder, digs in. Barrett swings at the first pitch and chops it down the first base line. It stays in fair territory as Kevin Valentine will apply the tag to the runner. And 2 quick outs in the inning. Farrell 1 out away from the save. And now we'll deal with the shortstop, Ben Karen, who is 0 for 3. He did reach on an error by Alex Croto in his last at bat. Was stranded on the base paths. North County has stranded 11 runners on so far in the game. The bases are empty with 2 outs here in the 7th, and Ben Karen takes a look at a called strike 1. Farrell back into his windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball that does not break. And it evens the count at 1-1. Farrell settles back in on the pitcher's mound into his windup. The 1-1 pitch. This is a line drive out to right field, but hanging up in the air for Blake Hill to make the catch for the out that ends the ball game. This was a tough one for Post 59 here in Game 1 of the doubleheader, but they hold on, and they are able to defeat North County Post 129 in the first of this doubleheader, winning this one by a final score of 3-1. Very close all the way, and you could easily say that North County had the better of the offensive chances throughout the day. Talked about it just a moment ago. 11 runners stranded on the base paths over the course of these 7 innings. In fact, the only inning in which they did not have any base runners was here in the 7th, as Michael Farrell was able to get the 1-2-3 inning to conclude the ball game. So a big win for Milford here today as they start the doubleheader off with a victory, 3-1 over North County.